Vimlendu Jha, environmentalist, is with us now. Vimlendu, I think this is it, right? You don't need, I think Geeta Gopinath has woken up all those people who said pollution is not an issue. At the World Economic Forum, on a question of business and economy, when you say, no, first fix pollution, I think you don't need a better argument, right? Now the question is, how will we act on this?
I think it's, what she said is what we've been telling everyone. I've told you several times that the cost of inaction actually is higher than cost of action. Imagine the loss to GDP that she was actually talking about. And if you look at the World Bank report of 2022, of course, she was referring to Lancet, but mistakenly referred to World Bank in that sense, in terms of death. The death figure was actually the part of the Lancet study in that sense. But World Bank says that the loss is almost 9%. And more than 9% in that sense of our GDP, which actually comes to 30 lakh crores. So, all of this great submission in terms of Supreme Court that Dr. Bedi was actually talking about, I don't believe it, because at the end of the day, you will be able to achieve that list. That list has been in the public domain for at least 12 years, Sonal. We all have that list in terms of whether vehicular pollution should stop, whether the thermal power plant should be phased out or should not be releasing sulfur dioxide. What Geeta Gopinath actually talked about is that we need to invest in air pollution, because that needs to be an incentive, because there's a loss to our economy, and a loss as per World Bank report already of 30 lakh crores. By the way, what is the budget that we have of Delhi when we are saying that the loss is 30 lakh crores? The budget to clean our air is just 30 crores, and majority of that is unspent. So India's budget for the entire for 6 years was around 19,700 crores for 120 cities. And imagine 19,000 crores for 6 years, which means 300 crores, while we're losing 30 lakh crores year on year in terms of economic loss. And of course, the loss to life in terms of mortality is around 70 lakh people as per Lancet. And of course, many, many more people in terms of morbidity and the impact that it actually has. So I think, it's an issue that needs to be dealt with at the top, as the question that you asked, that why is the Prime Minister quiet? Why is the Environment Minister? We haven't seen the proportionate political will. That's the question that needs to be answered urgently, because it's not just an embarrassment for us, as in today it's been in news globally in terms of how Geeta Gopinath actually raised the issue of pollution in a conversation which was to do with economics largely, in terms of tariff and our labor and incentives to really invest much, much more, how India should become perhaps the third largest economy. But becoming the third largest economy is easier, as she said, that perhaps in the next 3 years will be a very, very strong economy. But imagine we'll be a sick nation. So proportionate action and a rapid, quick action is extremely important, and something which you've been saying, that it cannot be reactive, it cannot be knee-jerk. We will have to get on that path of progress, and that progress cannot just be GRAP at all. Because imagine, like in last 1 week, we've seen GRAP 3, GRAP 4, like almost as if it's some kind of a ping pong game that the government has been playing, because that's the only game that they know to play, as if GRAP is the only measure when it comes to air quality.
I'm not sure if they're playing that very well either, because the implementation seems to be very weak on the ground. Just in a small place like NCR, it's not even across the country. It's just these 3 little towns that come together and have the most powerful people, the most affluent people in the country, but none of that matters, because all of this is a loss. But I'll tell you my takeaway from this entire conversation, because budget is around the corner. I'm mindful of that. I think this conversation should hit the Indian government hard. They should wake up, smell the air, as they say at this point, and say that in the upcoming budget, there should be a very clear allocation to clean up India's air. It is not just about health ministry and environment ministry. It is finance and corporate affairs and economy. It impacts everybody in every way. Agriculture, transport, all of that. It impacts anybody and everybody, and that should be made a priority. Let's just hope that after hearing it at a platform like Davos, the government will finally wake up and do something about it. We surely are here to support them in every way possible to turn this into a reality.